bring about awareness of the issues of cheating online. And Ken, I know you are one of the world's leading experts when it comes to cheating in chess online. And what we'll do is, while I commentate the games, perhaps you can give us, while we're just in the beginning of this over the board game here, give us your view on the current state of cheating in chess and potential solutions for this, what seems like a growing problem.
Yes, well, there are two levels to the problem. One is the actual incidence of cheating, which regrettably is non-negligible even in over-the-board chess, even this year. But the pandemic, when regular chess went online, unfortunately saw a great increase in the cheating rate. And that also raised awareness and consciousness of the depth of the problem. However, it is possible to take this to extreme. The other level is the discomfort. You could even say paranoia, to quote Jacob Agard about this. And he's written some very insightful articles about the extent of that in the chess community. And there I have more comforting words. For instance, I supported at the time, the chess.com report on Title Tuesday that was posted in late April. I have my own independent verification that there is not widespread large-scale cheating in Title Tuesdays. There is some, but my statistical methods are able to show that with hundreds of thousands of data points, overall they match the expectation quite closely.
So in other words, what you're saying is that there is an element of cheating, but perhaps not as full-blown as somebody like Vladimir Kramnik believes.
Right. And although you can't prove a negative in an individual case, you can prove the absence of a massive positive.
Right. Okay. Well, that seems like a fairly sensible position. So, and I don't want to get overly controversial on the stream today, but would you say then that you feel as though Vlad has got a point, but perhaps because he's also produced his own statistical analysis, often posting it on his Twitter channel. What do you think about what he's posted specifically? And do you think he perhaps has, why don't you just tell us what you think?
They're not normalized. He does not do the statistical techniques that are required to establish a benchmark of reference. Whereas I have a predictive analytic model. I set expectations. I know the confidence intervals around them. These are basic statistical vocabulary. It's been known since the 1700s, but absent from his posts.
Okay, so clearly then, as a professor, because you are a professor of statistics, is that right?
Computer science.
Computer science, I beg your pardon, but with an educator formation in statistics and modeling.
Right. I also do quantum computing. It's a textbook I co-authored. Yeah.
Have you tried to reach out to Vlad directly?
Well, we corresponded on Twitter. I was given he was given my email way back in 2020. We've never had a sit down in a cafe or in a study type conversation. Only a few Twitter exchanges where, for instance, he just fundamentally doubts my ability to index things to standard ratings rather than Blitz ratings, even though I've quoted a study by Dorian Quelly over in Switzerland or Austria, a doctoral student in mathematical economics, showing that, in fact, these standard ratings are predictive enough to use as a benchmark.
Right.
Because you might say that the chess.com ratings, if you are testing a hypothesis that 10% of players cheat, then you're not going to use the chess.com ratings for that.
Right.
So there's some basic lack of understanding there. But otherwise, no, we've not. I've inquired of FIDE who are the statistical people that he references, and I've not received names to have a conversation with there either.
I see. Okay. Understood. All right. Well, look, we'll perhaps talk a little bit more about that, but the game is in full swing. This is game one of the over the board portion. We have we had Italians for the first 2 days. We've now gone to Spanishes, but regardless, it seems as though that Kramnik has had pretty good success in the openings, and judging by this position as well. However, I have to say this is perhaps one of those positions which is actually manageable for black because he's managed to get that break in now down the center with d5. And I think I would actually take black here, Ken, in this position. The pressure down the d-file looks serious. And on top of that, he's a minute up on the clock.
Well, we have a little advantage that hopefully the players don't have, which is we can see the Avalavar for black creeping down the board. This, by the way, at the original Clash of Flames or in a tournament held right afterward, there was an incident where an Avalavar was potentially visible in the playing hall. And I was actually called in over that. But anyway.
Yeah, not ideal.
You're certainly right. We can see as knowledgeable chess players that black is occupying good squares, white is under pressure, black's rooks have more scope, black's queen is better placed. So everything was, white has a latent kingside attack, but it's not close to getting off the ground.
Yeah. And now a nice safe looking move there by Martinez, just taking away the squares from the white knights, preventing that bishop from doing any damage. 27 seconds only for Kramnik. Tough position to play as white. Bishop e4. The bar shot down there. Hated that move. Don't quite know why, but maybe you can take on b4 and go rook a2 and pin along the second rank. Looks reasonable. Yeah. Looks reasonable to me.
Yeah, I would have maybe considered rook a7 there and say you went rook b8. By the way, Hikaru in his commentary has been saying the main thing is that Jose has been repeating poor openings.
Correct.
And that's the main difference in strength between them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't remember Jose ever getting anything seriously decent out of the opening almost at any point. So I really, really do agree with that. And I think that's hindered his chances in this match. And now he, 2 points behind, 6 games to go. Every game is absolutely critical. He does have a chance here, though. He's got that a pawn that's running down. Kramnik trying to force something on the king side, but the king can always just go to f8. 17 seconds now for Kramnik. What is he going to do? Knight h2 feels like a desperation kind of move here. Bar shot down, hated that. Maybe just f5 looks good here, or feels like there's some knockout blow here for sure.
Yeah, well, you want to get a2 in somehow. So it's
yes,
he played f5. So
he does go f5. This is a natural move. Bishop a2, queen f7. Like that move, tidying things up. Looks very nice indeed. And that goes back to f3. Okay, but Martinez has to hurry up as well. Rook c8 looks reasonable.
Yeah, things can go well. 20 seconds left.
Yeah. Sort of position where you can just play a move like king h8, right? Just save some time, get the king on a safer square.
Yeah.
And he does it.
Haru said while streaming Title Tuesday yesterday is that, positions where he was worse, if I can get them to the bullet stage, then I'll know I'll win. And this is now in the bullet stage.
Knight d4 is a lovely little idea. And now Martinez only with 3 seconds, 6 seconds, and now it's anybody's game. I really would have put my bets on Martinez, but now, look at this. Now there's just absolute chaos on the board. And what's going on here? He's an exchange down, but he's got the a pawn still, and bishop a6, queen e6, maybe queen e7. Why not? Bishop goes to b5. 7 seconds, and now the piece is starting to fly. Bishop b4. Knight goes to e4. Can you take on f5 here? No, he takes on e4, takes on a3, gets rid of that pawn. The queen now comes c5. Now this is clearly winning now for white. And what a coup this would be for Vladimir if he wins this. Bishop goes to c3, great move, trading off the dark square bishops. Now it's really toast. Now queen c7 and queen takes g3 is going to be the end here. Surely rook c6 coming as well. Queen g6, any old move. And yeah, Martinez there, you can tell by the gesture moving that queen. Yeah, he might just give up here. He puts the queen on f8, but this is, for all intents and purposes, just done. Rook h7 is mate on the board. A very, very disappointing game there for Martinez. And the trend is very much intact here, Ken, with